Well, hello, and as you can see from this title, make your own watercolor pads, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. It saves you a lot of money. I buy the individual sheets online. I actually get them from Ken Bromley Art Supplies here in the UK. So this is £140 textured rough not pressed watercolor paper. You need to align it carefully. Get a bunch of about 20, something like that, whatever size you want. And we're going to create those gummed pads, which then the watercolor paper doesn't need stretching, which is ideal for the kind of work we do. Now once you've clamped them with the crocodile clips, I use Copydex, which is a latex type glue, to just basically, to start with, paint along a couple of the edges. When you get used to it, you won't need to clamp it. Once you've painted along a couple of the edges, you can take the crocodile clips off to do the rest of it. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to glue it down via the edges onto a cardboard base. I'm actually using a slightly larger old watercolor pad as the base for my new watercolor pad. So as you can see here, what we do is remove the crocodile clips. Now it's held together and it doesn't take long for the Copydex glue to dry. And so what I'm going to do is just basically hold it in place, and once again run the latex glue, the Copydex glue, around the edge, and it holds it in place against the cardboard. Now normally I'm doing this so that you can see, and I've got my camera on a tripod. I'm doing it so you can see on my easel, but normally you could do it flat on a table. So as you can see here, I'm painting with the Copydex along the edge, gluing it down. Doesn't take very long to do, and in actual fact the Copydex glue dries quite quickly. Also, it's very similar to that latex type of stuff that you use called Frisket. Some people use it when they're painting watercolors to reserve lights. So you can remove it in the same way if it goes onto your top sheet. I've not had to ruin a top sheet, which probably wouldn't be a disaster even if it did. Now what I'm doing is I'm turning it over, and you'll notice that when you have those gummed pads, you always have a section about that wide, a section like that, which doesn't have the glue on, so that when you finish painting you can slip something like the handle of a paintbrush under the top sheet that you've painted, and then run it around, a bit like opening a letter, to actually remove the paper. So that's basically it. Once it's dried, you've got your own pad for probably less than 50% of the cost, because I think it works out to about 40p a sheet as opposed to nearly £1 a sheet here in the UK. So go to my website roughbrush.com to find out more about my techniques.